All right, let's talk about the brains behind pretty much all of modern industry, programmable logic controllers, or PLCs. If you've ever wondered how you can get the skills to control the machines that build cars or package your food, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to lay out a complete, cost-effective roadmap for you to get started from scratch.
So, what in the world is a PLC? Well, think of it as a super rugged industrial-grade computer. Its whole job is to look at inputs, like a button being pressed, make a decision based on a program that you write, and then control outputs, like telling a motor to turn on. It is the silent director behind almost every automated process you can possibly imagine.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the big question that stops so many people. Getting your hands on the actual hardware, the professional software, it can seem crazy expensive. It feels like you need to have a key to a factory just to get your foot in the door. Well, that is the exact myth we are busting today. The secret, and it's a great one, is that you don't need any of that expensive gear to start. Seriously. The biggest names in automation actually give you powerful tools for free that let you learn, practice, and really master PLC programming right from your own desk. So here's our empowerment roadmap for today. We're going to start by seeing where these skills are actually used. Then we'll build a solid foundation of knowledge. After that, we'll pick the right free tools for the job. And finally, we'll get into turning pure logic into actual working practice. Okay, first up, let's really get why these skills are so incredibly valuable. Learning PLC programming isn't just some abstract exercise. It is literally a ticket into the heart of how the modern world gets built. And look at this. The demand is just everywhere. We're talking about automotive plants, food and beverage, oil and gas, even the heating and cooling systems in massive skyscrapers. Basically, if a process is automated, you can bet there's a PLC programmer making it all happen. It makes these skills unbelievably versatile. Okay, now before we even dream of opening a piece of software, we have to build our foundation. This is so important. You just can't program a world you don't understand, and a PLC's world is all about electricity and taking measurements. Here's the bottom line. PLCs are electrical devices that control other electrical devices. So knowing the basics, like the difference between AC and DC power, how motors work, or how things like fuses and miniature circuit breakers protect the whole system, it's just non-negotiable. This is what turns a good programmer into a truly great one. And if electricity is the language, then instrumentation, well, that gives the PLC its senses, its eyes and ears. These are the devices, the push buttons someone presses, the temperature sensors, the flow meters, that are constantly feeding information into the PLC. You've got to understand how these senses work before you can tell the brain how to react. All right, with our foundation solid, it's time to get our hands dirty. Digitally, of course. This is where we pick our software and start to learn the fundamental concepts of the PLC itself. So where do you start? Right here. You've got the huge players like Siemens and Allen Bradley, and others like Delta, who offer completely free software. Now, here's the key. Just pick one and commit to it. Download their free version, like TI Portal or Connected Components Workbench, and just focus on that one system. The core logic you learn is going to transfer to everything else later on. Now, as you're digging into that software, you want to focus on these core ideas. You need to really get the difference between a simple on or off digital signal and a variable analog signal. You need to know what the different parts of the PLC do, the CPU, the input-output modules, and how they all talk to each other. This is the grammar of automation. And now for the main event. We've got the foundation, we've got the tools. It's time to start writing some code and actually make things happen. This is where all that theory becomes reality. So, the most common language you're going to use is called ladder logic, and this right here shows why it's so brilliant. It was designed to look exactly like the electrical wiring diagrams technicians were already used to. On the left, you see a physical switch turning on a light bulb. On the right, in our program, a contact, which represents the switch, energizes a coil, which represents the light. See? It's the same logic, just in software. It's designed to be intuitive. Now think of these instructions as your programming Legos. You'll use basic contacts and coils for simple on-off stuff. You'll use timers to control how long things happen, and you'll use counters to track how many times they happen. Throw in some simple comparisons and math functions, and you have all the building blocks you need to create any automated system you can dream up. So how do you actually practice with all these Legos? Well, this is the most powerful part of our whole roadmap. Every single major PLC software package comes with a built-in simulator.
This means you can write your code, download it to a virtual PLC on your computer, and watch it run in real time. You can test every single line of logic without spending 1 cent on physical hardware. It's a game changer. And this is exactly how you should practice. Start with something simple and build your way up. Program a basic start-stop for a motor. Then use a timer to make a light blink. Use a counter to count boxes on a virtual conveyor. Before you know it, you'll be building way more complex systems, like a full traffic light sequence, all inside that free simulator. This right here is your curriculum. So there you have it. From understanding the fundamentals of electricity to picking your free software tools and then practicing with simulators and these mini projects, you now have a clear, actionable, and most importantly, a completely cost-effective roadmap to take you from total beginner to a real PLC practitioner. The path is all laid out, the tools are free, and they're just waiting for you to download them. The barrier to getting into this field has never, ever been lower. So the only real question left is, what process, what machine, what idea are you going to bring to life with code first?